Hi, my name is Roger Ball. I'm the lead pastor here at Freedom Church in Vero Beach, Florida. And I just want to tell you a real quick story. A couple of months ago, I was blessed to meet Joe Pellegrino and sit down with him and learn a little bit about legacy-minded men and the organization and the ministry that you all are responsible for. And I wanted to share with you a couple of things. 12 years ago, or a little bit more, we started a Celebrate Recovery here at our church, and we began to minister to those with hurts, habits, and hang-ups. We began to get involved in recovery, and over the last 12 years, that ministry has just grown to a wide variety of ways. And living in this current culture where the opiate addiction crisis is killing young people at an unbelievable rate. Do you know that for the first time in our recent history, the average age is actually starting to decline because so many young people are dying in their 20s and in their teens from addiction. And so we made a strong commitment, even to the point 3 years ago, we partnered with an alcohol and drug treatment facility in our area, and we wrote a faith-based program for that, and our church has run that program and continues to run it to this day. Well, after meeting Joe, I downloaded the Legacy Minded Men app, and I began to look at some things, and I saw the 7 pillars on the app, and so I started looking at the 7 pillars, and I thought, now that would make for a pretty good group session at the treatment center, and so I did my first one several weeks ago, starting with the pillar of prayer. And that's always a subject, especially with these guys who are some of them are still detoxing, some of them are just, their self-worth and all of that has just been destroyed. They don't sense any dignity, and even though they've enrolled in a Christian-based program, some of them are still resistant to that and understanding prayer. And I thought, okay, this will be an interesting session. So I started this session by asking the guys to come up to the whiteboard, and I asked them, I said, I want you to write one word. I want you to think about your earthly father for just a minute. I want you to write one word on the board that best describes your dad. And I watched as these guys wrote words like absent, knucklehead, one of them wrote. One of them wrote down the word, "Who is my dad?" Man, and I'm looking at those words and I'm looking at those things. And so I began to talk about that as far as they were concerned, that was the legacy that their dad was leaving them. And then I drew a line down the board and I said, here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go up and I want you to write the one word that you would like to know that people would say about you if they were sitting in this room and you're their dad. It's your son, it's your daughter. Write down that one word that you want it to be. And so I began to see as these guys wrote down words like faithful, loving, caring. And then I launched into prayer. And I just have to tell you all that I have never had such an engaged session on prayer with men who are in recovery. I have never seen guys connect and get excited about something. And I just wanted to share with you that we continue to utilize those 7 pillars as a foundation for bringing these guys back, giving them a second chance, giving them a second look at what life can be. Thanks to you, we were invited to bring many of those men to the Transformed Conference that was held here in Vero Beach at no charge. And so we were able to bring some guys. And then what flowed out of that was we started the 8-week discipleship program with them. And Joe Pellegrino has been so gracious to come to our church and work with these men. And I recall one young man the first night. Joe asked. He said, "Why did you come? Why are you here?" And his words were that this is his last chance. If he doesn't get it now, he's going to be dead. And guys, I just wanted you to know that we're dealing with life and death situations every day in our ministries. And I wanted you to know the impact that your ministry, that God is doing through you, is paying great dividends here in Vero Beach, Florida. And I just want to say thank you, and I look forward to all that God does through this.